Ah, there you are.
Hello, there
Okay,
you
cool.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
I'm well.
How you doing?
Oh, shoot. Oh,
Oh,
hi.
Guys.
Hey guys.
Which camera are we staring at? That one?
I guess the front
We're
camera.
breaking
Yeah.
the fourth wall now, huh?
Yeah. Alrighty. Hello there. Welcome back to the Fulcrum Channel. I believe this is episode 8.
Yes. It's not the Last Jedi though.
No. Thankfully, it's not.
No, it's the
Um,
last
not.
episode.
No. Finale is actually going to be episode 9, so how fitting. The full
Oh
saga.
wow.
Alrighty, so we have a very special guest with us.
Hi guys. I'm Alec.
Yep.
A Star Wars enthusiast.
How are you doing today?
I'm good today. I've been watching your podcast for a while. I haven't watched every episode, but I like when I went on the website, I was like the Fulcrum podcast, and then I saw and I know Tyler from a club we're in together, and I don't know. I'm just really into this and stuff, and I always wanted to come on, so I'm really happy to be here.
Cool.
Happy to have you.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's doing well. All right, Tyler, if you could just ask him the questions right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what we are going to be asking you is actually, so, what is your experience with Star Wars? When did you start watching it? And who was your-
Okay.
yeah.
So I was thinking about this yesterday because I assumed the question was going to come. I had like 2 different waves of like being into Star Wars. Like so the first one was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Obviously, the only Star Wars DVD we had in my house was Revenge of the Sith. It was my dad's. He got it from my uncle, and we watched a lot. Me and my brother would watch it a lot. I was actually horrified of Mustafar as a kid. The whole Mustafar fight was scary to me until I was about like 8 or something. Until I realized this was awesome. But that was the scene. That was like the movie I've seen considerably more than all the others. And then with my family, like I watched through most of them. Of course, the prequels and the originals, and Revenge of the Sith is always stuck with me. So I was a big Star Wars fan growing up, but it wasn't until about the beginning of sophomore year when The Mandalorian was coming out that me and my friend Aiden were like, to prep for this, like let's watch like the Clone Wars again.
Yeah.
And so we
That's exactly
watched
what I
the
did.
first two prequels, and then we watched the whole Clone Wars. And while watching the Clone Wars, like I mean, I watched it as a kid, of course,
Yeah.
but this is my first time watching from beginning to end, and it was
It hits
amazing.
different,
It
I'm telling
hit
you.
different. It was amazing. I loved it, and then me and him have been like Star Wars fanatics since then. I mean, maybe not as much as you guys, but I don't know. I've seen the prequels. I've seen the Clone Wars. I've watched the Clone Wars 3 times through. I just love it, and I've been with it ever since.
That's cool.
All right, who's your favorite Star Wars character? And I'm probably going to guess it's Ahsoka due to your Clone Wars Ahsoka series.
Yeah, I got those sabers on my senior trip when we went to Disney. They're my prized possessions.
This is mine. Yeah, cheers.
Actually, paying for those, my credit card froze.
Wow.
Because they were that expensive. I won't say how much they were, but
Yeah,
it was
no.
like my parents were like, Alec, what purchase was that? It was like it was a very, very necessary purchase.
You need to defend yourself on the way home.
But yeah, Ahsoka's my favorite character.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars is my favorite piece of Star Wars media. Ahsoka, of course, I would say is the main character of the Clone Wars, in my opinion.
She's more of the poster child of the GAR. Or actually, that's more Anakin's the poster boy. Ahsoka's probably like the only true Jedi in the Twilight of the Republic era.
Yeah, my opinion is that Ahsoka is really what it means to be a Jedi. I love her character arc. I think she stands for justice.
Yeah.
I think she stands for what she believes in, and she's not afraid to call it out. And when she was convicted of the bombing of the Jedi Temple and whatnot, and she was cast away from the Jedi Temple. They invited her back when they realized that it wasn't hers, but she made the decision to leave and stuff like that. And stuff like that is what really resonates with me as her as a character. I just love her. Close second is Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Very excited for Kenobi. Nervous for Kenobi. We don't know.
Okay. I actually, speaking of Kenobi, on that note, I had a thought. Have you guys seen the deleted scene from? I think it was a Clone Wars arc. It was an unfinished scene. It was Obi-Wan and Anakin talking about Ahsoka's decision.
Out of fire.
Cinematic captures.
They remade it.
Did it. I have a theory that they might do it in Kenobi to start it off.
That would be so cool.
They might save that for the. Honestly, they might save it for the Ahsoka show.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because Anakin's gonna show up there as a Force ghost,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I'm really excited about. Like, this is actually insane. Like,
Do you think it's going to be basically Hayden Christensen Anakin or? I
yes,
forget his-
yeah. Hayden's gonna be
Hayden
playing
will be
the.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I hope to see a lot more of Hayden.
No,
Yes.
I heard that you were an anime fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a big
Yeah.
anime
So
fan.
I was wondering, what are your thoughts on Star Wars Visions?
That's actually when Tyler was first telling me, I was like, I want to come on and talk about Star Wars Visions.
Yeah. I haven't
'cause-
seen all of it, so you can spoil it though. I don't mind.
But so for me, anime is like it's like the next biggest thing. Like my favorite two like universe like stories is Star Wars and One Piece. If you know what One Piece is.
I heard about it. Yeah.
Yes.
And Star Wars Visions, when I heard it was coming out, I was like, this is what we need. This is amazing. Star Wars originated as it didn't originate as anime,
It took
but
some
it's
Japanese inspiration.
it took a lot of Japanese inspiration.
Well, it's anime.
Kind of
Samurai,
yeah.
Western.
That's
Yeah.
where George Lucas kind of got a lot of his inspiration and whatnot, and it's just the perfect medium to tell a Star Wars story, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
What's your favorite episode? Because mine is The Elder, and I'm gonna say why.
Interesting.
Because-
Mine's The Ninth Jedi.
The fifth episode that they released.
Yeah.
That's a second Actually, The Elder and The Ninth Jedi are tied really close for me.
Yeah.
I would actually love to see The Ninth Jedi as a series.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Same.
it so much.
I've only seen I think the first 2 episodes.
Really?
But out of what I've seen, I love the first episode. For some reason, it just fits. It
Oh, yeah.
reminds me of one of the inspiration, like part of where Star Wars came from, the basically black and white samurai films.
Yeah.
It hit different.
The
So-
fights are cool.
Yeah.
Fights were great.
So I was gonna say, like, the reason it's one of my favorites out of the whole 8 that they released was because I believe they used a lot of like samurai stuff, and that actually ties into like a lot of what George Lucas was inspired by. He loved Kurosawa films, like he made a lot of famous samurai films, stuff like that. Yeah, so I like it because it's just very dark. It's got like a manga type feel, with the black and white.
And the
100%.
lightsaber umbrella.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love the fact that they colored the lightsabers. That was my favorite part.
One of the great things about Visions is that it's not canon and they can do whatever they wanted.
I know.
They could do lightsaber umbrellas. They could do those
Boba Fett
twins.
was short.
They could do,
Yeah.
a rock and roll concert on Tatooine. It was awesome, and especially the fights and whatnot. Like the Ninth Jedi, I think had my favorite fights. Of course, the twins episode
I like
was
the
great.
gore.
It was what?
I like the gore in the Ninth Jedi.
Oh yeah.
I think they might make that new Star Destroyer class from I think the twins canon.
The twins was great. I love Studio Trigger. They're the ones who did it, and they've done other stuff like Gurren Lagann or Kill La Kill, and their style is just like, it's awesome. It's beautiful. The colors are great, and the action is awesome. I've watched a lot of like analyses of that episode. Breaking down the animation and the characters. I want to see more. I want to see more of Star Wars anime really badly.
Yeah.
What if they brought somehow, if they made at least one thing, if they were going to make one thing canon, that could
Ninth
technically
Jedi.
be canon. Yeah, but an element from one element doesn't have to, it has to be
Oh,
a
yeah.
small piece.
I really like the Force sensitive droid
Ah.
from, I forget what the episode was called, but
Yeah, I don't remember, but that was unique. That was like a unique idea. I would
oh
say.
yeah.
I bet you it was based on R4.
Mm-hmm.
R4.
I like the Force sensitive droid, and I also like the twins with this I forget exactly what they talked about, but how like the Sith blood was like pumped into them when they were born or something.
Yeah.
That was also really cool.
Yeah. The twins, the ending, where the guy his sister turns to the dark side, he like escapes to this planet where it's like water. That reminded me of the ending of Bad Batch, kind of, because like where they're on this platform,
Yeah.
on Camino, and like they're all getting into the ship. That's kind of where he was. He was on this platform, I believe, like I think it was above water, and like yeah, I kind of like
Sam.
that.
I
Sam,
thought it was.
I
I
don't
thought it
remember.
was like the twin sons of Tatooine. There was 2 sons there.
Binary suns. A lot of planets have binary suns. So.
That is true.
Yeah, but the most iconic is Tatooine.
Yeah.
But I saw that and like that, like the ending, like a lot of what Visions felt like to me was a test run to see, what they could do and how the fans would react to it. Because a lot of the episodes left off like Lop and Ocho or the twins or Ninth Jedi. They ended where you could 100% see how they would take it in the future and, create real arcs and stories between these characters.
Yeah.
And I really want to see them flesh it out.
They tapped into it like a really unique and I think a niche medium, but like it garners a lot of fans. Like I thought Visions was amazing, like personally. By the way, in 2 days, Kenobi's
Kenobi
coming up.
comes, exactly.
Yeah, so you guys excited for it? I mean, I know I am. He's my favorite character.
I am
I'm very
beyond
excited.
excited.
So,
I've been waiting for this for
yeah.
a long time.
if you guys watch the interviews,
Yeah.
I think what really stood out to me was the fact, how like, back in the day when the prequels were released, due to lack of internet, I feel like it seemed like they received a lot of bad rep, like a lot of flack because, everybody was just like, it seemed that everybody was, just like absolutely just like criticizing them horribly.
Saying the bandwagon existed there.
It sucks, kind of the hate that Hayden got and whatnot. And for me, at least with this show, if we end up not liking it as fans, it's our job to not be mad at the actors and whatnot, but to be mad at the writing and the people who created the show.
Yeah. Do you think didn't Hayden become a farmer at one point?
Yeah, he hasn't been acting at all. Like he's been just on his,
acting.
I think his farm in Ontario. And when he got the call, like, yo, you want to play Vader again? He was like, yo, I want to do it. So he's back.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Why did he jump to it?
Because I mean, it's like you could tell how much the role meant to him. So like, kind of like picking up from where I was like saying like the prequels received a lot of criticism, and I think the generation that they were made for, like kids at that time, they loved it. They personally loved it, and they didn't have the internet as much, so they weren't like going onto the internet, and there wasn't like mass dissemination of information as there was, as there is now. So over time the prequels were loved even more, but it's just that that silent majority that was there in the first place wasn't heard, and that kind of gave Hayden and Ewan the wrong impression that the prequels sucked and nobody liked them. But it's nice now seeing in interviews how everything came full circle and how they are finally getting the love they deserve.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that
George knew what he was doing when he wrote the prequels.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, no one's gonna like it now, but in about 15 to 17 years,
Yeah.
one of the greatest film trilogies of all
100%.
time.
It is.
Especially
And
that
it
elevator
is.
scene.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine he was talking to his, probably one of the writers, and the writer was like, hey, Obi-Wan just drops down and says hello to the Grievous, like they're college roommates or something.
Yeah.
General Kenobi.
Why is that? And
I still have arguments with my dad. My dad isn't a big prequels fan.
He's
and
not?
He's not. And my dad's a big Star Wars fan too. I mean, he's bigger Star Trek, but like I still have arguments about it. And he's like, the prequels weren't good, the acting was bad, the writing was bad, blah blah blah. And I'm like, Dad, you don't understand.
well,
Alec's dad, if you're watching this right now, the prequels are good. All right.
The prequels are
They're
incredible,
good.
Dad.
They're incredible.
Please.
But they also, to put this in greater words, what's good about the prequels and what's great about the original trilogy is that what brings them together, what unifies them, like the Golden Spike and the Transcontinental Railroad, is the dark times, the 19 years between them.
Yeah.
That is probably my favorite era of
Oh
Star
yeah,
Wars.
that gets explored
Yeah.
over countless times, and I can't wait to see it explored in Kenobi.
Yes.
Yep. So I think the one things that I'm most excited for is kind of seeing probably like, because Hayden mentioned Vader's a very conflicted character at this point. He's kind of trying to find his, I guess, identity within the dark side and the light side, and he's obviously he's going to go to the dark side more, but it's going to be cool because I feel like Kenobi's going to bring out a lot of that trauma that we see.
You mean the raw hate, pun intended, raw trauma, hatred.
Well, that also, but the trauma for both, like the PTSD for both Anakin and Obi-Wan, like, Vader's going to be waking up in his back to tank just hyperventilating because he's like thinking of himself burning or him, losing everything, everything that he was.
I'm really excited to see I'm excited to see some backstory of him, back. I hope we get some scenes of him, as Anakin that helps reinforce his character a lot. And then in the interview, when the interviewer asked him about like his favorite, moment as Anakin or Vader, he said when he was first like put into the like Vader costume and whatnot, and like
Suit,
that.
yeah.
That not the costume, the suit, and that trauma, like that waved onto him that this is his choice. These decisions are solid. Like this is the path that he went on, and this is the consequence that's going to happen from it.
Yeah. So Tyler, you're a Vader fan.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So I want you to tell me, like, what do you think is going to happen with him, like this season?
I heard that I read it's going to be. Well, actually, just to start off, they sort of took the Rogue One design polished it up a bit, and it made a few small changes. But overall, which is great because I love that design.
It's
They
kinda
didn't
more-
use the Revenge of the Sith one. I didn't. No offense, guy. I didn't like that design the most.
Okay.
It was kind of off to me. But I'm thankful that they used the Rogue One design. But they messed with it a bit and made it light up in
Yeah,
some places.
I feel like Vader, like we've seen in Revenge of the Sith and in Rogue One. I feel like he's gonna like. For some reason, I really like that like minimal armor look, like just that cloth on the side, because like he still has his chest plate, but you see in the original trilogy, right here, he kind of has like this like this material that's covering his I guess midriff is like this hard like leather. I like the cloth look more. It makes him look more elegant, and I kind of like
You mean this?
yeah like that.
Cod piece.
Yeah.
That's always been there.
Yeah, like the cloth like coming down from here. I like that a lot.
I like
Wasn't
it
it-
when it's over his shoulder pads, like
Yeah.
episode 4 of Rogue One.
Wasn't it confirmed that there's gonna be 2 duels between Obi-Wan and Vader in this show?
It was.
What do you guys think is gonna happen with these? Because of course there's gonna be 1 duel between them, but 2.
I think one of them is not really going to be Vader per se. At least Vader, I don't think he's going to know about it. I think it's going to be a sort of a premonition of Vader.
Dream sequence.
Not even a dream sequence. Yes, a dream sequence, but Vader didn't actually force connect with Kenobi. I think this is
Like,
just like
our
Kenobi's
minds-
PTSD.
Our minds are gonna be blown. Like the scene when it all washes over Kenobi, that Anakin is Vader.
And
Like
I
we're
don't
gonna
think-
see
I
that.
don't
think-
think they ever said armored Vader that they were going to use for the
I,
dream
th-
sequence.
I think Kenobi knows at this point that Anakin is Vader, because if you think about it, I think a year or two after everything happened, there's in a comic issue. I'm not sure if it's Legend.
Cantina.
Yeah, exact. Yeah, it's so it's canon. So he already
really?
knows he's Vader. Yeah, but he
Just
just
to break down.
he sees.
I was really excited to see the scene. I guess I'm gonna have to check that out. Of like, because I mean, of what Obi-Wan knows after the events of Revenge is that Anakin died on Mustafar.
and he finds out in the cantina through a hologram, or is it a projection on a TV that Vader. Yeah, but he hears the name Darth Vader. He's like, oh crap, Anakin survived. And that's kind of a big moment for him, because now he realizes there's this threat to his mission, and kind of raising Luke. He already has difficulties with Owen, like we see in the trailer.
Yeah.
He's like when he's old enough, he must be trained, and then Owen just hits him with that like.
Like you trained his father?
Yeah, and
What a burn!
it was just, you could tell that really cut deep, and it hurt him, because he's not over failing. He think in his mind he failed Anakin, So we get to see that trauma. I hope they bring it out, because it's going to be a lot more emotional then,
What do you guys think about the interview with the Grand Inquisitor? Did you guys read
I
about
didn't
how
watch
he? Can I talk about it here?
Yeah.
The actor said that he deliberately didn't watch Rebels
Oh my
for this
God,
role.
that is such a mistake. You do not want to do that. Like I
At least watch a couple episodes, even though this.
And he
predates
said
Rebels.
deliberately, like he said in the interview that I read, he wanted to create his own like impression of the character as Grand Inquisitor, which to me just it frustrates me, because this is not like, we are not trying to retcon the Rebels. We're not trying to retcon anything that happened. This is canon. This is not a reboot. This is the same character. Please,
Exactly.
Please be like the one thing you can do as an actor is read your source material.
exactly
like
like we.
Benedict Cumberbatch and Doctor Strange.
I've seen that with actually it really makes me like frustrated, the arrogance that we see between like actors, because Moses Ingram, she's like, oh yeah, when I was filming I was the Inquisitor. I'm like, that's not how it works. You're not
She
the
also
grand-
said that she wasn't a big Star Wars fan before.
like you got to do your research when you come.
Exactly. Like
and you come to like
Hayden
act.
and Ewan both said that they rewatched the prequels and the Clone Wars for this show.
know.
Oh,
Like
man.
they're the ones who literally acted in those movies, and they're still gonna go rewatch them for this role. And then you have these new guys coming on, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm part of Star Wars. Like I'm an Inquisitor." That's kind of the feeling I'm getting, and it makes me nervous. And yeah.
Well, we'll just see what happens. I have faith. I think
you
it's gonna be
want?
good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is
Right.
Dave Filoni here. Like I have faith in this man.
And Deborah Chow.
And
So-
Deborah Chow.
Ooh,
So we-
on to end it.
Yeah.
Quick thing, I had
We
a
have-
thought.
Yeah. Well,
What if Cal Kestis shows up?
I don't think he's gonna show up personally. He's in hiding still, I would say.
Well, no, actually, maybe he's
Well-
on the Mantis. He's sort of traveling the galaxy. This show is the Fallen Order takes place 5 years before this.
We already have Nari though.
We have Narnia.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to wrap up. So we got to do book recommendations. So I don't have one, so I'm not going to recommend it for today.
Yeah.
But Tyler, how about you recommend
I
now?
brought two. I know it's really unlike me, but for the first time, I brought a Legends book.
Oh.
Lords of the Sith, might have talked about it at one point, and a comic book I picked up on Free Comic today. It's about Obi-Wan as a Padawan, or not even a Padawan. He was a youngling.
Do you have any books?
Yeah.
Not with me, but the going with Visions. The Visions book that was created for the first episode, is really great, and I never read it, but I'm blanking on the title.
Yeah, we forget. Well, thank you for.
Lightsaber cheers.
I don't have one, but
There's 3 lightsabers.
alrighty, let's make it a tradition. All right.
Yeah, we should.
Thank you for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, it was fun having you on. You know, it's cool having a Visions fan because we don't meet much of those. So,
Yeah.
cheers, guys.
Cheers.
All right. May the force be with you all.
See you guys.
See you in the next episode, the season finale. So don't miss it. All right. See you guys. Hold up.
That was great.
Yep. That was good. All right. Cool.
I enjoyed that. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys.